Yes, Tom. A man in his 70s has gone missing kayaking down by the Coorong, so there's a bunch of search parties going out looking for him there. He's set out for a trip on Monday, but if anyone's seen the kayaker down there or around Salt Creek area, definitely contact the police. This is also off the bat of yesterday at 4:15 p.m. Two men were found dead off the coast of Kangaroo Island after a boat overturned. So all this stuff is happening, obviously urging the safety of people on the water out there.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And really interesting stuff. Perth University have absolutely nailed it. They've done really well. They've done a big study over the rocks in Stonehenge in England.
Okay.
And nobody's discovered this before. So this is a really big deal for Australians and particularly Curtin University in Perth. But what they've discovered by analysing the rocks and looking at the composition is that a bunch of the rocks have come from Scotland.
Yeah,
so
right.
they've travelled all the way from Scotland to England. So now it poses all these questions of, in 2600 BC, how the hell did these people transport not only... Because originally people thought, Stonehenge is so massive to even transport around England. Did the aliens do it? All these crazy theories. Now Curtin University in Perth have addressed the fact that no, a bunch of the biggest rocks there in the composition have come from Scotland.
Yeah, how the hell did they get there?
No idea. So it's really turned everything... it's one of those scientific discoveries. I just saw it in the news. It pops up. Hang on, that's actually quite a big deal. That's going to change everyone's perception on Stonehenge.
Yeah.
So all of these different questions are being raised and they're getting all different scientists to now analyse further inquiries about it.
Yeah, just even more mystery into the Stonehenge.
Big time.
Callum, we got a bit of a panel in the studio this morning with us.
Yes, we do. We are posing the question, what TV show gets you in the mood? And to help us address this big talk, because it's flown around the office. The discussion came around the office and there are a lot of funny responses that we have to bring it to the air. So we got Steph and Taylor in the studio with us. Thanks for coming in.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Now, we are talking what TV shows do you watch to get in the mood. Going to open up the text line in just a moment. We need to know from your perspective, what are you watching to get into the mood?
So I'm not a huge saga series kind of gal, but I do like to watch sporting events. So as you can imagine, the Olympics has been very successful for me.
That pole vaulting though.
Yeah. The Olympics, is it the tight fits, the clothes, just athleticism, just a bit of everything?
It's all of it. Something about those skins against a thick leg and you can see the entire outline. I'm like, it's not too bad.
I get it.
So you've just had 2 weeks of pure bliss.
Me and my partner sitting on the couch doing a full assessment. I'm like, not bad, good size. But then
you don't even know who's won the competition.
That's the funniest thing. Oh, we do.
Any other sports you like to watch?
I think the footy, obviously, the AFL, and
Sure.
even the rugby, because I feel like they're thick.
Oh, yeah.
They're nice.
Yeah.
Stop saying thick.
Who do you think?
They're legs.
They're built.
They're
They are built.
Yeah.
From your TV watching experience, who's hotter, the rugby players or the footy players?
Oh, man, it's tough. They both have...
Depends on which team's playing.
True. I don't know. I think I'm going to lean more towards the rugby just because I feel like their actual builds are thicker.
You're trying not to say thick.
And
you just said it.
Sorry, Tom's made me insecure now.
Taylor, what about you? What are you watching?
Weirdly enough, I get a bit turned on by The Block.
The Block.
The Block. Scotty Cam does it for you.
Mate, seeing a hot Australian man that has a commitment in a committed relationship, there is nothing hotter than that.
Yeah,
Building a house.
It's an interesting one because if you look online at different surveys, everyone says, your True Bloods, Orange is the New Black. I didn't even think of the reality TV shows. What about something like MasterChef?
Yeah, 100%.
Man who can cook.
A man in the kitchen serving me up some food. My ovaries are exploding at that point.
As long as it's just a man, yeah. What about Huey's Kitchen? Does he do it for you?
Ready, steady, cook?
Yeah.
No, not quite. But
Not the same.
The more the elitist. But yeah, that house building, a man, a chippy, in there, it's gorgeous.
Get this girl to the island, the Block Island.
We have gone to the text line. This one has popped up a little bit. I've never seen it, but Outlander apparently is a sexy show.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of scenes in that one. Hey, another one, Bridgerton, Nuff said.
Everyone talks about Bridgerton.
I hear a lot of people say certain things about Bridgerton. certain things that would definitely get you in the mood.
Certain things that'll roll you up. This one here is a classic, of course, getting in that reality TV show strain. Big Brother, especially when it was after dark. Copping a glimpse of them hooking up from Dan. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate the text.
It's almost a bit creepy.
It makes it worse when it's the After Dark special of Big Brother.
Yeah,
Can't you watch them during the day?
I only tune in after hours. Hey, another text here from Angel. American Horror Story, nothing better than.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, a lot of
it's a
scenes
huge
in
one.
that one as well.
Someone said Morning Gents, not a TV show, but the fresh mornings get me going. Cheers.
Okay, well, on that note, let's move to our phone lines. We got Cara from Glenelg North. G'day, Cara. What TV show's getting you in the mood?
Hi, it's one that my mum put me onto. It's called Yorkshire Vet, and it's about this. Yep, it's about this English vet from Yorkshire. He's got a sexy accent. He's so lovely and so sweet, and he saves animals that other vets won't touch, and he gives them like heart valves and new ears and prosthetic limbs, and then their owners are so happy, and you just want to cuddle him, and he's wonderful.
Cara, you aren't watching this with your mum, are you?
God, no.
Keep it separate. You can debrief after the show's finished. Is it fictional or is it a Yorkshire
No,
version of
it's
Chris
true.
Brown?
It's the Yorkshire version of Chris Brown,
Right.
only he's got an accent, and he saves more animals.
Cara, who would you rather marry, the Yorkshire vet or Dr. Chris Brown?
Oh, the Yorkshire guy, anytime.
Wow, that's
anytime.
a huge call. I mean, ladies love Dr. Chris Brown. Tom, I've been living a lie to my parents for a while now.
Yeah, right. How long? 25 years?
Pretty well, yeah. But more recently than anything, and that lie is that I cook at home a lot. I live in a rental, not with my parents, and they're under the impression that I cook at home and I don't blow all my disposable money on takeout. And
How wrong they'd be.
And the luxuries of KFC and things like that. So I'm trying to keep a good image that all of my money doesn't, get blown, and I've got a bit of a savings, things like that. And it's come around to the point where it was near my birthday and my parents wanted to take me out for dinner with a few family members, right?
Save a bit of money on takeout.
Exactly right. So I took the opportunity
Pounced
for sure.
at it.
Left smoke tracks as I was running to the restaurant. But I got there and they've chosen the place in which I've pretty much unloaded all of my money to the last few months.
Right.
This Nepalese restaurant that's near my house.
Nepalese
and that's
restaurant?
Nepalese, yeah.
What? What? Nepalese?
Yeah, it's a funny little facet, isn't it? I told someone else that and they're like, that's odd.
It is a bit odd.
It is a bit odd.
What?
I mean, it's a nice restaurant, but it's just close by.
Right. How close are we talking?
And down the end of the street.
Right, so like a 2-minute walk.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's really easy to get to.
So
and
it's not because you like Nepalese food, it's just convenience for you.
it's a bit of both, but it is very convenient, isn't it? So I've rocked up to the restaurant though.
Since when have you been a Nepalese boy?
It's my new thing. I'm a Nepalese guy. If
Okay.
anyone asks, Callum loves Nepalese. But I've got to the restaurant. There's a few family members
What do you
there.
eat? Sorry, what do you eat from a Nepalese restaurant? I'm not even sure what their
Well, that's the
cuisine
thing.
is.
All of my disposable money's been going into goat curry for the last 4 months or something.
goat curry.
Absolute favourite.
Sounds like something that gets served at Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom.
With a side of a monkey head. I've rocked up though, families there, and I'm trying to lay low like it's witness protection because I don't want them to find out this is where I go and spend all my money and I'm blowing it, right? I'm sitting down there. My uncle goes to me, "Oh, do you come here often?" And I turn to him, I'm like, "Nah, not really. I mean, I cook at home a lot. I might get the occasional takeout here."
Yeah.
Kid you not, restaurant owner comes out, "Callum, my favourite," slapping me on the back. The usual.
You've only been in this rental for a few months. How have you made friends with the owner of the
I'm just
Nepalese
there.
restaurant?
I'm there every week. We're on a first name basis. Completely unravels my plan. They know where my savings are going. Tom, we played out some audio from the news yesterday that just really got our attention and we can't stop thinking about it.
Went to break a stick and the boss decided to fall onto it. Stick lodged straight up through his jaw. So he's called me over for some seckies. When I've seen 20 centimetres of stick coming out of his throat, I was like, "You got ambulance cover?"
Yep, so that was an apprentice and his boss retelling the story of him and his boss working in the Adelaide Hills. They were doing some gardening, a job up there. And yes, quote unquote, the boss, decided to fall on the stick.
He's really tried to shift the blame onto the boss.
Yeah, big time. So this is classic Apprentice.
Yeah.
And I feel like You know, you hear about apprentices all the time doing trades, and I feel like they go through a certain amount of stuff-ups. It's a rite of passage until the boss finally spits it, and then, you know, then you're fully qualified. That is your qualification as a tradie.
Yeah, oh, big time. We're going to go to the text line in a moment. For all the tradies out there, this is a chance for you to stitch up your apprentice. We want to know, what did the apprentice stuff up?
Yeah, because obviously this apprentice is trying to sway away from the fact that it was probably his fault.
Yeah.
And, you know, the apprentice is also making gags at the end there saying, hope he has ambulance cover. I don't think the boss with a stick through his neck is too thrilled.
I don't think he's in the mood for jokes.
About the interview. Keep in mind, the boss is fine. He's safe. It's all good. It was a near miss near an artery, but it just goes to show classic apprentice making a little bit of a stuff up and being pretty blasé about it.
Yeah, we're going to go to the text line here. Get involved on 0428 927 927. What did the apprentice stuff up? Time to stitch up your apprentices. Maybe you've got a rival apprentice on site and you want to stitch them up.
Or maybe your apprentice has been flying under the radar for a little bit and you just want to remind them of something they did in their first year on the job.
Remind them they're still the apprentice.
I remember, because my dad's a plumber, and it wasn't one of his apprentices, but he'd done a bunch of plumbing jobs. It was in the ground, but it wasn't finished. And some bricklayer's apprentice had bricked all over the top of the plumbing. So my dad and all of his mates got there, and they were like, what the hell has your apprentice done? He's put bricks all over the pipes. It's not a finished job. Did he not see the open pipes? So they had to break through the bricks, cut through it with all this heavy machinery just because of this one stuff up.
Oh, you would not be hearing the end of that, would you? We got this text come through here. Many moons ago, my apprentice chef dropped a plate of lasagna that happened to clip the bench and break, also hitting my knee during a busy service. I proceeded to continue cooking while everyone else cleaned up the lasagna and broken plate on the floor. After a quick dash to the office where the manager wrapped my leg with a couple of tea towels, we got service completed.
Jeez.
Chef life's a tough gig.
Sounds like a real episode of The Bear or something. In this heated kitchen, getting blades to the leg. Horrible. This one here. Morning, fellas. Stitching up my apprentice Daniel this morning. Got him to fit a toilet by himself for the first time. The idiot put the toilet on backwards. I was flabbergasted.
How do you make that kind of stuff up?
You know, I think this looks right.
I'm pretty useless on the tools, right? But I think I could figure out the toilet's
What the
the
toilet
right way.
looks like.
Yeah. No, this is modern. This is new age.
It's the new bidet. Yeah. You just haven't seen it. It's French.
It's all the craze in Japan at the moment. Another text here. My landscaper apprentice, Jonathan, went to the wrong address through the back gate and hacked into some random's backyard. When he found out, he left without notifying them.
God, you'd be terrified if you just saw someone in your backyard hedging, doing some lawn mowing and stuff.
A bit of Michael Myers about that.
This one here, yeah, my apprentice is due for a lashing. Sounds a bit barbaric. First day on the job, I asked for him for a screwdriver, and he brought me a wrench. To this day, he swears he just wasn't looking, but we call him Tools now, and he hates it. You know what? I feel for him because I worked for my dad as he's a plumber, and you know those vans, messy as.
Yeah.
I mean, never did anything as bad as that, but a lot of the tools, you know, you can get confusing.
Yeah. Hey, to wrap things up, my apprentice a few years back shot a nail gun through my hand. Shout out to Chris. Hope your new job is going well. We got to have a chat about politics because we all know they can get pretty nasty, you know, smear campaigns, heated debates. I mean, we've been seeing it for months and months over in the States with the presidential election coming up.
Sure, absolutely huge. Everyone loves to have a say on this one.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the States is probably the one that's really taken all the media at the moment, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen here as well. And right now, we're going to travel home away from home, the Gold Coast, this morning, where their long-serving mayor, Tom Tate, is in a bit of strife after referring to a fellow councillor, Joe Wilkinson, as a certain word. And after saying what he did, he's immediately backtracked. He's saying it was a joke, he didn't realise it was offensive, but he is still under investigation for improper conduct.
Okay, what was the word?
He called him this.
He's a ringer.
He said ranger.
The
politician said ranger.
The mayor, the long-serving mayor of Gold Coast, called Joe Wilkinson, a fellow councillor, a ranger.
Just when I can't take the Gold Coast any less seriously, and then this comes out in the news that the mayor is saying this to his face
Yes.
in a political heated discussion.
Yeah, so it was in a whole room full of people, and it came about because they were talking, for whatever reason, talking about, nicknames that they used when they were younger, and saying he used to call people with red hair blue, and then people that were tall stretch. But then he came out and said, now we'll call Joe Ranger.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's just an insane thing, isn't it? It's one of those, why do Australians have to compile such a list of bizarre political moments? Everything from Tony Abbott to eating the onion to this now. We just can't help ourselves, can we?
It doesn't even stop there. So he's under investigation because of saying this word. But Joe Wilkinson, the councillor, has come out and said, I didn't take any offence to it. I don't care. There is an anonymous person in this room full of people that took offence and has reported it.
Well, someone with ginger hair in the crowd has just been like, what the hell?
Are you talking to me? Screw you.
Yes, it is the Weird Weekly Wrap-Up. All of the odd things we've seen around our beautiful and weird city of Adelaide.
Yes, and remember, you can always get involved in the Weird Weekly Wrap-Up. If you see anything weird around the streets of Adelaide, text it through to us, 0428 927 927. We'll get it included in the Weird Weekly Wrap-Up. But let's get into it, the weird things we've seen.
Let's do it.
So, Callum, it was your birthday on Sunday, just gone.
Yes.
And on the Saturday, we went out for some celebrations. We went on a bit of a wine tour, went and saw the beautiful Adelaide Hills. And one person that came along was none other than the corporate fat cat himself.
Yes, our boss attended the wine tour.
And when we were on our way back, we were at the, I think it was the Stanley Tavern Hotel up in the hills. And he somehow found a cape.
Yeah, it was...
And he started wearing a cape.
It was really odd.
If Seinfeld's taught me one thing, it's never trust a man in a cape. So I look at the corporate fat cat very differently now.
I think the worst part is that he looked like Lord Voldemort about to enter the house and kill Harry Potter when he was a baby. He was really looking determined as he was walking around with that cape.
Please don't wear capes, Adelaide.
Tom, we're at your house and we had one of our other eccentric mates over.
Yeah, that's putting it kindly.
He's about 40 years old, should probably know better. But I overheard him say to you, he was like, hey, Tom, do you have a glass of water or should I just run my mouth under the tap? So what are you doing? Of course he has a glass.
I don't know what he thought. Of course, don't run your mouth under my tap. There you go. The Weird Weekly Wrap-Up Friend Edition this week.
I just think we need to look at who we hang out with.
I think we need to take a long, hard look at ourselves. We got people wearing capes, people running their mouth under taps.
Households.